Reanimate, and we'll do a new regular file. Well, I suppose it's not regular after all, is it? Air for Android file. And okay, the first thing I better do is the same old, same old. It's only taking 30 seconds to do this, so just bear with me. Same old, same old. All right, so when we tap on the symbol this time, something's going to happen with text. So there are three kinds of text. Here they are, 1, 2, 3. Static, which means non-changing. So just if you wanted a title, so this is, I'll do this, why not? So static text. And let me see, here it's easy to change. Just by dragging back and forth is the easiest. A title, or double click, I suppose. And all the different things, paragraph options down here, you can figure out this on your own. And so this is static, it's just going to be static unchanging. This will be about text. So that's static. And the other two kinds are what you got to get straight here, dynamic and input. I'll do the input first. Oh, I changed that to input by accident. Let's just deselect it, go back to the text tool, and make our new text to be input. And input is input. And frankly, I'm not going to be able to test this because I'd have to show you my phone, and I'm not set up to do that. I don't even have my phone, frankly, here with me. So, but you know what input text is. You click on an input text field and the user can type in text. One thing I will show you though here, and I've already done this from playing around with it before, definitely, even if there's no text showing, have a text box so that the person can see where to click. You can change the background color and so on, but this is what gives you the border. So if I just had that there, the dotted line is not able to be seen when you run the program. So change something about it, and the easiest thing to do is to put a, what do they call this, border. Okay, and there are other things you could do, I'm sure, as well. So now they'll know that that is a text box. You'll write something here, you'll put some static text that says enter your name or whatever. So right back to the text tool, and this time we're going to do the text which is important for score in Pong, and that is dynamic. Dynamic in general means changeable, right? It means changing. Same thing, it'll keep the toggle that you gave it last time, and last time I was using this I had given it a border, so if it's not showing you a border, definitely show the border. And this will be dynamic. This will say show the score. So let's just make this very, very easy, that I'll just tap, 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 tap. And when I tap, 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 tap on the symbol, the score goes up one step at a time. All right, so I'll need to be able to refer to this in the code. This text will have an instance name. This you can do without, doing that whatever type X is assigned new whatever type, that we did when we were doing the ball and the paddle back on frame 1. I think you know what I'm talking about. You can make a text box just without any worry this way. And the reason why, just very, very quickly, is because we're not doing anything with this. We're not changing the size. We're not changing the font. The code is not changing anything about this. So we can just use this as an instance of a text dynamic box, but we do need to give it an instance name. So let's call this dynamic field, okay, or whatever. So here we go. That's the dynamic field. We're going to have this selected. We're going to add, did I already do that? I already did. Yeah. So what are we going to do? We're going to go dynamic field dot text is assigned, well, for now, just hello. Okay, let me just play around with this a little bit. How about I randomly put something there? So I'm going to go if math.random, something a lot of you have seen before. If not, very straightforward, and you're going to want to use it in your games. Math.random returns a number between 0 and 1. Okay, so if math.random is greater than 0.5, in other words, 50% of the time, I could print out in the dynamic field, hello. Oh, I don't know what I've been doing here. Let me try that again. I want to cut that. I'll do it this way. Cut. Paste. And then else, the other 50% of the time, is of course going to be assigned world. Okay, got it. So we're going to run this. When I tap on it, 50% of the time we're going to see hello, 50% of the time we're going to see world. Okay, I don't know what happened to, very interesting. We're losing the H and we're losing something else there too. The D and the R. That's curious. Basically it's working, it's just not showing it correctly, which is a little bit worrisome. Let's go back and see if we can figure out what's going on. I know one thing that we should do, and it's probably the problem. So I didn't intend for this to happen, but I was going to mention this sooner or later anyway. Definitely, to make things work well, you want to embed the font. I think you can get what that does. It just embeds the font that you're using in the application rather than using the system font, just in case it's missing times or other things can go wrong. So just as a habit, when you're using text, you want to embed. You don't have to embed all the different glyphs. The easiest thing is to take, if I can get to it, the basic Latin. That's the one that you want. Okay, and just to be sure, I'm going to export for ActionScript 2. And let's just see if that fixes things. But one way or another, definitely you do want to do that. Embed. So sure enough, that fixed it. All right, so lesson learned. What next? So just as a review of what we got so far, we're saying there's text. There are 3 kinds of text. Dynamic changes. Input is for input. Static, non-changing. You definitely want to, in the properties of a text object, give it a border, and you also definitely want to embed. So finally then, if this were for a score, you would have to have a variable, some sort of counter or score behind the scenes that goes up and up and up and up and up. Not that big of a deal. So let's do it. Let's do a variable. We'll call it score. Might as well. Score of type int starts at 0 in all likelihood. And I guess let's just comment this out for now. And simply, every time something happens, like hitting a paddle, for example, or scores can go down too, lives can go down. You can do whatever you want with your Pong, but I'm going to go score plus plus, which ups it by 1, and then text is going to be assigned, and I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do this. I know I'm going to get an error, but I want to show you what the error is because you're probably going to get it on your own anyway. And I want to teach you how you fix it and why you fix it as well, because we're just about finished really with this video, unless I throw in a couple of extra things, which I might. Anyway, let's just see that this works. Well, yeah, you're going to get the error. You're going to get the error that's saying you got a text field which takes a string, which takes the words the word data type, which is string, but score is not a word data type. Score is an int. So I'd like to show you that error. Right, implicit coercion of a value of type int into a, it should say string. Into an unrelated, there you go. Unrelated type string. We're trying to, just what it says and just what I already said. So let's just fix it. What you do here, and I don't think most of you have seen this, but a couple of you will have, what you do is you have to change the type to be the type that is expected, and the type that is expected is string. And the way you do this, casting, C-A-S-T-I-N-G, is you put the thing that you're casting in parentheses and the type that you want to cast it to also in parentheses in front of it. And that'll work. And we'll just click on this a couple times to see the score go up and up and up. Okay. I guess, yeah, I do want to give you something else for this second time through, because we want to keep on going with bigger and better things. So since math.random has been introduced here, how about I get you to do this? Sooner or later, you're going to be back at school, and there's going to be a rubric, and I'm going to show you what you need to have, and you're going to get a grade. You're going to get a grade. So I want you to randomize somehow the movement of the computer paddle. And maybe I'll just leave it at that. Maybe I'll just leave it at that and make it a bit of a challenge. That you're going to have to go to your code that moves the computer paddle, which is really straightforward, right? It just follows the, y of the ball. Well, it follows it exactly. So using math.random, without giving too much away, but still making it a challenge, you're going to use math.random. So maybe just the only other thing that I'm going to say to you is this: math.random times a scale, let's say, of 10. Okay, that will return not between 0 and 1. Math.random will return between 0 and 1. So at the lowest possible random return value, 0 times 10, it will return 0. So 0 up to, though, a maximum, up to a maximum of what? Well, if it returns 1, it actually doesn't return 1, but it gets close to 1.999999. For all intents and purposes, 1, if 1 is returned, 1 times 10 is 10. So what this gives you by multiplying by a factor is it gives you a greater range of random values between 0 and 10. And I think with those two lines in this video, that should be enough so that the paddle won't always go exactly with the ball and will always therefore hit the ball, but it might speed up some frames and slow down other frames. Can you picture that? And maybe that's enough. That's probably enough to keep you busy for this next little while. Okay, so there you go. That's stage 2 in the virtual school of moving Pong onward and upward.